Alright, after 5 months here in India, I am finally gonna take off my last continuous glucose monitor. Oh, look at that. Alright, let's talk about what I'm gonna do moving forward. Alright, for just a few days, I got to enjoy, honestly, what it just feels like to be naked without any devices hanging off your arms, to be able to scrub everywhere without thinking, am I about to knock off this $300 device that gives me information I need? You're able to throw on a shirt without having to worry about ripping something off, to play with the dogs, and just appreciate that. Alright, now being off a continuous glucose monitoring system has its perks and freedoms. Let your body heal for the first time, which is hard sometimes to explain as someone privileged enough to have technology, but it's so weird because there's always devices on our body inserted into our arms. I have my pump still on my stomach, so just a little bit of ease from technology sometimes is nice. But I will say over the last, I don't know, what has it been, 5 days, I've had a lot more lows and dangerous lows, and then I've had highs and kind of higher highs as well, because when I am using Loop, the automated system, that it eases all of that out, especially at night. Now, since what I'll be talking about moving forward is using the Freestyle Libre system, which I've actually used before hiking up in British Columbia with Connected in Motion, which is a Canadian nonprofit that does outdoor education, when we were hiking the Chilkoot Trail, and actually just watch this. So yeah, during that trip, I was kind of in the really fortunate spot to wear my Dexcom and the Libre, and there are advantages of this system, but the huge disadvantage is that this is not a continuous glucose monitor system. I'm going to say that again and tell you why this is the truth. This is not a continuous glucose monitor system. And it's strange because in American marketing and legally, this is labeled as a continuous glucose monitor system, but elsewhere in the world, it is not. And that is why it's very confusing. So what this is a flash monitoring system. So when I actually get this on, which I'll be doing with you guys, and I'll leave a time somewhere down here of when that actually happens, is that this is amazing because you can just scan your blood sugars, and the most important thing is that it shows you your current blood sugar, replacing all finger pricks, so no more finger pricks for 14 days, and it shows you your trends. This is a huge step forward for someone that has never seen their blood sugar trends before. That is what changed my mind about blood sugar management, is seeing your trend. And so Jaya, my host mom here, she's been managing type 2 diabetes, getting herself off of medication, which is a huge kudos to her. But she could also wear one of these systems and check her blood sugar out for 14 days. So I just wanted to make that clear, but let's actually talk about inserting it. So you've got 3 pieces. You have the actual scanner. This is the thing that you'll scan over the sensor once it's in your arm to show your blood sugars. It's interesting because in some countries you can use your smartphone to scan over. I believe Americans can't, but I'm going to be checking in on some of this. Then you actually have your sensor pack and your inserter. So starting off with opening the sensor is pretty easy. Just open up the tab. You'll see the insides of it, and then what you do is open up as well your actual inserter, which is just a screw cap, which I will say it's been a while since I've opened this. But they make it really intuitive, which I think is what's so nice about the system. It's really not intimidating at all. So then you'll be lining up the groove here with this groove, putting it together, pushing it down. Whoop. They are now one. You see the needle inside. And then yeah, so when I'm putting something on my arms, this is something that Dr. Gerald Rdzowski, who you have seen me fly with down in Texas and other places, taught me, and I bring that up because he's a veterinarian, is when using this part of your arm, he's a veterinarian with type 1 diabetes, important distinction. I always loosen up my arm, so this is where I insert it. This helps you kind of avoid hitting muscle. And then it's just like 1, 2, 3, ah! You can hold it here for a moment. But what's amazing is that this truly never hurts. And I've seen that like from everyone. That inserting this thing doesn't hurt. It's fantastic. You'll keep it on for 14 days. This is nice because it's a self-contained sharps container. So obviously you can put it in your bigger sharps container, but it's nice because that does seal off. And then just like that, and I honestly don't know what my blood sugar is right now. I'm guessing it's kind of high, but you'll hit, you can't see this, start new sensor. And this is rechargeable battery, by the way. And then my sensor can now be used in 60 minutes. So I'll be giving you all an update about that, but I'm going to check in with some other people to see what they think about the Freestyle Libre.
I've got my Freestyle Libre on. You can see I've got a sticker over it. I love it. The sticker doesn't stick as well as it should, and usually by about day 10 I have to put a sticker on it just to keep it on.
Say something that I've definitely noticed is like the profile of the device. You can see the Dexcom. I'll try to give you one of these angles.
Oh, nice.
Sticks out much further than the Freestyle. I've noticed even something like taking off like a base layer or something, it gets snagged a little bit, or taking my pack on and off.
I mean, it's sort of pros and cons of the Dexcom and the Libre. Like, the Libre won't alarm if you're going high or low. You have to, like, check. So, if you don't want to be disturbed, or you want to be, like, in meetings, or you want to be around people and not, like, have random beeps, then the Libre is perfect. If you're worried about going low at night and you want to have an alarm, then the Dexcom is, like, better. So I think that, you know, there's pros and cons of each.
Hi, this is Anirudh from India, and I'm using DIY Loop. And here's the technology I'm using, the Medtronic 722 pump, and my CGM is Libre with Maio Maio on top of it, and the Riley link, and my iPhone with the Loop app installed on it. And I'm using the Evans Auto Bolus version of Loop, free ABS. Thank you very much.
I love that you don't have to continually poke your fingers to see your blood sugar. You can use either the monitor it comes with or your phone and just give it a quick scan. I don't like that it doesn't have the alarms. I wish I automatically knew my blood sugar instead of having to scan it. So just a little upgrade I wish they had. Thanks so much.
Just kidding. Now that's the next day. You can see as my blood sugar climbs that you use this reader, and what's nice, actually give you guys a better look at this, is you can see my blood sugar went low overnight and then went high. And unfortunately what happened is I went low, but I also had my pump suspended at some point, so now my blood sugar is climbing up. And that's what's really fantastic, is that the Freestyle Libre can start showing you your trends, but it can't show you your trends in real time. It can't continuously show your glucose as a monitoring system. right? So I didn't get an alert to my phone or anything that my blood sugar is low or high, because this is not continuously giving me blood sugar values. And that is why pretty much in most places around the world it is called a flash glucose monitoring system, which as a consumer and as a patient is the accurate representation of it. It just happens that in America, legally, it falls under a continuous glucose monitor, which I'll let me know if you want me to make a deeper video about the Freestyle Libre, because even if you do wear a continuous glucose monitor, there's some really interesting benefits of this system and interesting perks that I could dive deeper into. You know, ultimately you can bring this to your medical team and make a lot more informed decisions to live a much healthier life with this disease. Whew. So yeah, if you want a more advanced dive into this, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions that I can answer, please let me know. And with that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend on WhatsApp. Remember, you can go anywhere, do anything.
Yeah, so my mom has type 1 diabetes. She's had it since she was 12. So I grew up with a diabetic mom, even though I was diagnosed in my 30s. Like, I grew up with that. And she is still on MDI. She does not want the Dexcom or does not want a pump, mostly because, I mean, it's a big hurdle to change systems, but she has changed systems throughout her 55 years of diabetes, or her 50 years of diabetes. But she really doesn't want anything that people can notice. I think that's maybe still a little bit old school of people not just who grew up in that era, not wanting other people to necessarily know that they have diabetes. And my mom's very small and she wears very tight clothes, and so even just the little Dexcom, people would notice. And so I've talked to her about the Dexcom before, because I don't think the pump, it's too much technology. She doesn't like technology. Yeah. Doesn't even want to have a cell phone. I get it. But the Dexcom is she lives alone. She's, hypo unaware. It's it would be kind of nice if you were going down to 28 in the middle of the night, if it woke you up, and so I don't think it's crazy necessary, because she hasn't had any major crisis with her diabetes, but you're always one day away from having a crisis. And so anyway, so I've been very gentle, not trying to push, because I don't want to be the newcomer, hey, I've had diabetes for 5 years, trust me, I know everything. But I really think there's a lot of value in it. And so I was excited about trying the Libre, because I think that it would be a really great option for my mom, because it's very low profile, so she could put it somewhere and have it be almost undetectable by anybody else. And it's totally comfortable, you can't feel it. And then she could check her blood sugar when she wants to, but it's not going to alarm, it's not going to randomly make noises, because that would drive her absolutely insane. But she can check really easily anytime she wants to, and the trends, right? It tells you if you're going up or down. I mean, that's the best thing about that kind of technology, whether it's Dexcom or Libre, is knowing, right, if I'm at 130, what does that mean? Am I going up or am I going down, right? And so I think that's just a huge benefit. So I'm going to go see her in a couple weeks, and I wanted to be able to sort of report back on this. It's available in Europe. She lives in Europe. Just kind of tell her about the pros and cons, and just see if she's willing to give it a try. She could give it a try and hate it, and then decide not to. But I think for somebody like her who wants to stay very discreet and private, but also who, she's very diligent about managing her diabetes. I think for her to understand the trends would really potentially make a difference. So I really wanted to be able to wear it, so I could give her the real lowdown. Yeah.
Croc with quotations. You can see they're pretty much offer the same overall look and functionality. I mean, look questionable because of the design on the brand.
Stylish
Croc.
one.
Yeah. We'll get around to price later.
Just saying, priceless style. How many compliments did you get on the trail? Because this Croc This croc, hundreds of compliments. Most complimented thing I wore on the trail.